first thing, because I was trying to figure out the angle, and I can't wait to explain it. And although this is maybe much, they say, I'm like, wait. Where did the studio? All right, let's do it.
My brother.
Well,
let's get it done.
Everything good? Perfect. So it's funny because we've been trying to work around this weather to do the high school reunion parties.
Yeah.
So it's not like we haven't been speaking.
Happy Easter to you, by the way,
happy
brother.
Easter. It is a beautiful Sunday. He has risen.
Yes.
And yes, Muslims believe in Jesus as well.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
So we've been calling back and forth trying to get that thing done, and then I seen you was in the hospital. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
A dentist, you all right?
Yeah. I was, black men don't like to go to the hospital, so.
Yeah.
So when I do post that, I be trying to just let people know it's okay to go to the doctor. You just never know. So many people. It's crazy because I lost two of my childhood friends the last week. So I want to say rest in peace to Rome.
Yes.
R.I.P. And Lee. I want to say rest in peace to Lee.
R.I.P. Lee.
It's been a sad week in Harlem. So I've been on straight positive time off Instagram. I was dealing with my own health issues.
Yes.
But I'm good. So now I got time to, I called you tonight. It's almost midnight. We in Harlem. I called you. You said you could come and actually sit with me because I had some things I wanted to talk about. And
I was like, do we have a space with nice ambiance?
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep it real. Two things I want to say. I wanted to sit down with somebody who's been genuine and honest and one of just the most best people I've ever met.
I'm humble.
Living in Harlem my whole life. And it's you. I mean, anybody from New York or Harlem especially that know Donjai, I can't think of one bad thing to say about you. So I wanted to have a genuine, honest conversation, and I wanted to have it with love, and you represent that, right?
Thank you.
So I called my boy Mike Garlic over at the Victoria, who's my guy. He's my guy, seriously. The Victoria, you can't really get here. So, I was able to get one of the private rooms here so we could sit down and have this conversation. So shout to the Victoria, we're here. Yes. The Apollo's in the background, literally we right here by the Apollo, as you can see in the background. This ain't cheap, but we don't do nothing cheap, never have, never will. And I want to shout two other people out before we start this.
Okay.
Because, so the reason we here is because obviously, Bianca, or Young B, as y'all know her, she did a couple of interviews and it's starting to go viral. And I normally don't talk about family problems or personal things publicly, but I feel like, now it's like an assassination on my character a little bit because the way she was speaking, and I have nothing but love.
Low blows?
Yeah. I'm not going to bash her or say anything bad about her, but I just wanted to at least tell my side of the story, you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes I feel like as men, we're put in situations where women may be...
Yeah, it's like, if a woman attacks you, you can't really attack her back. It's just, so I'm not going to attack her because I love her too much to do that anyway, but I wanted to say one thing before we start, because I know you got some questions you said you wanted to ask me. I want to shout out two people, right? Shout to ASAP Rocky, my childhood brother, and Naka, my childhood brother. If you're from Harlem from the early 2000s, you know me and Naka was like rivals, arch nemesis. Like we was out here both doing our thing, and we was just competing and try to be great. And now that we're adults, we have the best relationship. Me, him, and ASAP Rocky.
That's beautiful.
Rocky called me. He was like, yo, he was really concerned. He's like, yo, can we sit the girls down and have a great conversation? And I was just like, yeah, I would love to do that. But I tried to do that many years ago and it didn't work. But Rocky gave me a perspective that I already knew. But this is emotional for me because I got so much love for Bianca. He said, yo, you can't look at things from your perspective with this. You have to look at things from her perspective too. And you gotta understand where she's coming from and you gotta have this conversation with her. But it's just like now I can't even have a conversation with her. I wanted to have a conversation with you just to tell my side of the story. Okay. Just so I can, clear my name from people thinking whatever they may think.
All right. All right. That sounds just about right. So you said that I'm kind of coming with love. You coming with love as well, right? This isn't like, but you're also trying to defend yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So that's what I want to understand, a clear understanding. So take us back. Even before the music, you and Bianca are like brothers, sisters, or brothers, sisters
Bianca,
on some Harlem.
Well, she talked about this in her interview. Bianca, I had a girl that wasn't my blood sister, but I called her my sister. Her name was Tania. She passed away in 2001. She actually passed away going to get me a Christmas gift. And I was mad at her, and she passed away. She died on 34th Street. You know, I don't want to get into it because I get emotional, but she got hit by like a truck on 34th Street. You know, that was like my real sister, but it wasn't my blood sister, but it was my sister.
Gotcha.
And her brother passed away as well. So she filled the void in my life, and I filled the void in her life as kind of like brother and sister. So I was always trying to be there for her. People always say, like people always think when guys and girls is together.
Right. I get that a lot too.
Nah, it was just my sister.
That's why they get me to host a lot of parties, because they know I could bring the ladies out.
There you go. You a smooth ass nigga.
And you forged a relationship with Bianca through Tamia?
No. So they didn't know each other. So
R.I.P.
I'm just explaining to you the void in my life and the void in her life and how we became so close.
Gotcha.
How I met her was I had another artist by the name of G-Dot.
Okay.
G-Dot, not G-Dot from Harlem, 121st Street. G-Dot from Parkchester. G-Dot was my partner's art. So I had a record label called Skrilla Hill Records.
Yes.
I had a partner named Arthur. Arthur had a nephew named G-Dot that did music. So you got to remember, like, I was starting to work with artists because I wanted to do music through. I got to take you back. So let me start here. I met Young B through G-Dot, which was my artist first. Then
Perfect.
That was his girlfriend.
Okay.
You know, it was like 16 and 17. They was together. Then when I met her, I was like, oh, she got it.
Nice.
And we started creating music. I seen a vision in her, and we started working on music, and it goes from there. But let me just take you back a little further.
Okay.
So I come from a block called Skrilla Hill.
Yes.
Nothing comes from my block. Only thing I saw growing up was drug dealers and crackheads.
The Juice movie?
The Juice movie.
That's a positive thing.
There you go. So, Kumo D come from my block. Kumo D is from the 80s. I didn't see him.
The legend.
But DJ SNS,
Yes.
my big brother, I watched him.
The other legend.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was hustling, nickel and diamond. I wasn't a kingpin, but I was nickel and diamond, hustling, and that wasn't a life for me. I shouldn't have been selling drugs because my family is like raised me not to do that type of stuff, but I was.
Right.
So, you know, I got in a little bit of trouble, and then I started wanting to figure out where my life was going.
Okay.
So I wanted to be like SNS, honestly.
Fire.
He was a DJ. He used to do parties. He used to give away 5411 sneakers. So I watched what he did, and I wanted to do it. So I just
emulated that.
But what
with
I
the
did
key,
was, there you go. So now I'm doing parties at the Key. I started giving away Mermonts.
Yeah.
You know, Pradas, Mermonts, Gucci shoes, whatever. I was giving it away, and I built up a fan base doing this.
1000%.
So if you ever came to one of Webstar parties in the 2000s, Harlem, y'all know what it is. It was 1,000 kids outside, 1,000 kids inside. You know what I'm saying? But people just thought it was simple. It wasn't simple. I used to literally get 10,000 flyers made, right?
Physical flyers.
Physical flyers. No Instagram,
digital.
nothing. Physical flyers.
Yes.
I would promote for 2 weeks. Monday morning, I go to Watley in the morning time.
Okay.
I'll give out flyers in the morning, 8 in the morning while kids are going to school, because the flyers circulating inside. I would leave there, go to Staples, make copies, and go to like whatever the nearest project says. So I'll go to Foster Projects and put up posters while kids are in school. By the time I finish, I'm hitting another school. I'm hitting FDA or Thurgood Marshall, and I'm giving out more flyers. And I would do 2 schools every day and 1 project every day. And so this is why all the kids was coming to my party. On top of that, I was giving shit away, so they was coming. So I built up a platform for me to have a fan base where I could sell whatever I wanted. I don't know if people remember one time when I first got to Cherry Lounge when they lost their liquor license, right? I went and bought, this was the first time teenagers from Harlem, from my era, went to a club.
Were able to get,
Imagine being able to go to the biggest nightclub in the world. Like, remember, Cherry Lounge was Bruce Willis, J-Lo, DJ Clue, Timberland. It was pandemonium in Harlem, but they lost their liquor license, so they couldn't operate. Right. I went there and said, we can do team parties. He like, you're gonna have to give me $5,000 a party. I'm doing the math. Y'all hold 1,000 people. If I charge $25 a person to get in here, and it's a whole 1,000 people, I'm making $25,000 at the door. Then on top of that, what I did was, I went to Pathmark on Lexington Avenue, and I bought the apple cider champagne bottles for $1, and I was selling those for $25 for bottles in the club. Kids is drinking apple cider in the club, acting like they drunk.
The marketing plan was
It was just me understanding marketing and how to sell things.
Right.
So now you got to remember when I grew up on Donjai, it was Vado, it was Jay Mills, it was Square Off, it was Ron Browse, it was T-Rex, it was Manu. It was a lot of people doing music. It was Naka, shout to Naka. Right. And so now I was doing the parties, I was a man. I wanted all the girls to like me, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
But the parties was cool, but these niggas still was doing music. So I'm like, you know what? Back to SNS. I see him do an album called Harlem World Order, where he was the DJ, screaming on the records, pretty much doing what DJ Khaled's doing right now.
Yes.
But just back then. So I wanted to do that, so my vision was to always be an artist. So what I did was I said...
And you are artists in your own right,
no, I
even
am an
as
artist.
a DJ?
No, I'm an artist.
Yes.
Like DJs are artists too.
DJs were bigger than,
Eric B and Rakim.
We may be a little bit old.
Jam Master J, Run DMC.
It was always the DJ and the
Drama,
artist.
DJ Cool. How many of us love that DJ?
No, it was DJ Jazzy Jeff
Cool.
and Will Smith.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
It was, the DJ was always big.
I'm not trying to age myself, but I'm 41 years old now. So I come from the era of watching DJs, and I wanted to be an artist as well.
Yes, all right. Understood.
So I forgot what part of the story I was just at. So
you're getting to the fact that you SNS.
Oh no. So all these artists in Harlem doing music. I said I was
have like the SNS blueprint as well.
I was competitive. I wanted to be better than Jay Mills and Mook and all of because they was getting the girls
without rapping though.
Yeah,
you wanted to be
I was
better.
Still an artist. I wanted to tap into their world because these was the niggas back in the day.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I got 1,000 kids coming to see me every party, and another 1,000 kids trying to get it. I could pretty much sell whatever I want to sell. So I say, you know what? Let me find some artists. So my partner Art, nephew name is G-Dot. I got G-Dot. He like, yo, I got this girl. I heard her voice. As soon as I heard her voice, I was like, oh shit. So I come from watching Diddy and Jermaine Dupri, and those was the people I looked up to. I always wanted to do what they did as well.
Right.
So I'm like, so we made a record called Tone Wop. Tone Wop is a hood classic record.
And this was the first record?
First record. Okay. This is in 2005.
You, G-Dot, and...
Me, G-Dot, and Young B. We did the record.
Gotcha.
The record was stupid. I was one of the first people in Harlem from my generation that they ever seen shoot a video.
Oh, yes.
I got the Cherry Lounge, I shot a video. Niggas wasn't shooting videos back then.
That was very rare before.
Yeah, I inspired niggas to do that. I'm not cocky, I'm humble. I don't even talk about
it. And I'm a video director.
There you go. I was one of shot the M5. It was a director
was
named M5.
And D. Cole.
Well, D. Cole ain't do. I ain't work with D. Cole, but shot to D. Cole.
M5 for sure.
M5 was my guy, right? Yes. So we shot these videos, and people. It was so beautiful because people got to watch themselves on TV for the first time. So it created a buzz. Yeah. But it was a Timberland sample for Tone Wop, so we can never get it cleared. Okay. So let me just take you back a step further, right? I was cheating back then. I used to go to the Skate Key. It was a DJ by the name of Danny D. Danny D was making these mashup records, right? With like Fat Man Scoop screaming on it. You remember the old Fat Man Scoop record?
Yes.
So he used the Timberland beat, CeeLo, I Be Around, and it was a song called Turn the Lights Off. Everybody was doing the Tone Wop to it. I said, I'm gonna take the same beat and I'm gonna make a real record. They already Tone Wop to it, so I'm gonna make a record called Tone Wop. So when you hear the beats, you doing the dance. So you like the record before you heard the record.
Familiarity, because they already, yes.
We did that. So now we couldn't get that record clear because it was a Timberland beat. So I say, what's the next dance? It was the chicken noodle soup. Shot to FSU, it started there. I used to be down with FSU back in the day. Shot to Reality and all the guys over there, right?
FSU.
Yeah, FSU. Yes. So me and Bianca talked about making a chicken noodle soup. She said, my uncle got a beat, I'm gonna take the beat. Her uncle was a producer. She went and got the beat. She came with the idea.
So you didn't produce the record?
No.
Okay.
I don't make beats, I make hits.
I like that.
I'm not gonna act like I make beats. I don't make beats.
So the record was produced.
I got producers I work with like Taylor Made and Ron Browse who I can call them with an idea and say, put this here, do this here. So it's like co-produced.
That's like producing,
yeah, but I don't physically do it. I get in the studio and I tell you what to say, how to say it. I structure the record. I got the vision for everything, the marketing plan, how the video should look, how we should be pushing it. That's what I do.
This is what happened with chicken noodle soup.
There we go. So boom, back to the chicken noodle soup. So her uncle makes the beat.
Okay.
She brings me the concept. We go to the studio. Now I'm doing my parties, but I'm not doing parties in the summertime because the summertime, Harlem don't go to parties. Where did we go back in the days in the summertime? Where did we go? Rucker and Kingdom.
Kingdom, yes.
We do basketball in the summertime.
Yes,
let me help you out. So Kingdom, I'm thinking, how can I get my record played in the summertime? I'm only getting my shit played in the wintertime. I want to break the record. The voice of Harlem.
Yes.
He's the Kingdom. Kingdom is at his height. Dame Dash, Jay-Z.
Everybody's there.
Everybody's there. It's thousands of people in the park, right? I'm like, if I put him on a record, I can get my record played in the summertime.
So you brought him to the studio to add his...
I brought him to the studio.
Okay.
Young B wrote her lyrics.
The voice of Harlem.
I helped her arrange it. I helped her with a few things as far as like a word here, put this here, do that there. She wrote her own shit, but I helped her.
Okay.
Voice of Harlem never did a record before.
Right.
Never been in the studio before. I bring him in. I say to him, just say what you would say if he was on a basketball court. I take what he did, say this again, do this again. All right, bring this here. Boom. Now he leaves. I'm fixing the record, mixing it, arranging, doing everything.
Nice.
We all contributed to the record.
Okay.
My goal was, my parties are gonna break the record in the wintertime, he's gonna break the record in the summertime, and that's what fucking happened, right?
Okay.
So I seen an interview Young B did, and she was saying, Web don't make beats, Web don't rap, Web don't do this. I'm like, well, let me speak up for myself. Yeah, what you was gonna say.
So at this point, all right, you make the record, bam.
Yes.
B writes the lyrics. You come through, tell her say like this.
Yeah,
you kind of co-produce it.
Yes.
Her uncle brought the beat.
Yes.
You get the voice of Harlem on it.
Yes.
Wicked.
So
he bam.
Yes.
So now the record is made. Yes. What I want to know from here, at this point, you're all considering this your record. This is my record.
So the records was always like mine's records. Like Tone Rock was my. Listen, we created together, but
yes. So this always has been your record. Your Web got us in the studio to do this record.
You gotta think
he
about
paid for the masters. This is Web's record.
So you gotta understand, we wasn't thinking about paying for the masters, but the idea was mine.
Okay.
The lyrics was written by Young B.
Okay.
I paid for the studio time.
Okay. That on the business side of things, that's
this is what we doing.
Okay.
This is the concept. So yeah, it was my record. It was Young B. It was all of our records together.
Okay.
Now, here's where things get interesting. The shit blows the fuck up.
Okay, and nobody probably expected to blow
Now we get to do a record deal, right?
Okay, so
we get to do a record deal. All these labels is coming to see me. Chris Lighty, Diddy, Jermaine Dupri. Everybody's coming to Harlem looking for me. No disrespect to Bianca.
Right.
They wasn't looking for her. Brian Leach. Brian Leach is, I don't know if you know who Brian Leach is.
Polo Ground.
Brian Leach got a record label called Polo Ground Records.
ASAP Mob.
There you go.
He's from Harlem.
So let me explain who Brian Leach is.
Okay.
Brian Leach is from Harlem, one of the biggest record executives.
Yes.
I wish I would have signed with him because a lot of times we sign for the money and not for the person who believes in you the most. He signed Little John, which is crunk music.
Yes.
Then he signed ASAP Music, which is Rocky, Ferg. He signed them.
Right.
So Brian Leach signs Movements. So Bianca had the record, but I had the movement.
Okay.
You got to remember, they know who I am. Right. They kids is coming to my parties. They know Web is rocking and rolling. So they want to get the movement. They want to get the whole, Brian wanted to sign the whole movement.
The movement.
So you got to remember this too, Donjai. Whenever you create genres of music,
right,
labels come and sign everybody from that region. So look at drill music.
Okay.
When Pop Smoke and Fabio did what they did, how many drill rappers did the labels come and find in the hood?
That's very true. And not to cut you off, but I definitely felt some type of way. I think I was at the 50th, for the 50th hip hop anniversary. I think I was at one of the BET Awards, and I felt like they were overlooking, you know.
Yeah. But
whether people calling it Get Light or Harlem music.
We created our own genre of music, which is light feet music.
There you okay, got you.
Even if you look at our deal, right? When I did my deal,
yes,
5 people got record deals at the same time.
So look, Jason Fox is on Jackie.
Tiana Taylor, Google Me Baby at the time. Little Mama,
Lip Gloss.
Two-Way, Pooh and Mo, they got signed to Brian Leach. Remember, Brian Leach wanted to sign everybody. He wanted to get the whole movement. So for the movement. Got you. So he signed, and it just didn't work out how it was supposed to work out. Shout to Pooh and Mo. I'm cool with everybody. I know they were saying some things on the internet at one point. I'm looking at things from other people's perspective, and I'm like, I get it. Yeah.
How about the I Ether record? That was something I always thought was supposed to be bigger than.
So that was Lighter.
Yes. Shout out to Lighter.
Lighter, I think he had a record called I'm Cute,
No,
You
Cute,
Ugly.
You Ugly. Lighter was
I forgot who did the I Eat the record, but I know Rex had one too. All that was,
right.
All that, we all was together. J Mac Go Stupid,
yes,
Still
yes,
Stupid,
yes.
Knock It Get Crazy, Aunt Jackie. All these records was from the movement that we created.
Got you. Okay.
So people was getting deals.
So the odds is on Harlem at this time.
So here's why I took the deal for myself, right?
Okay. So wait, all right. So you were able to get the deal for the record. So by the time the record is being, like, we going for ads on the radio.
So the record blew up. Everybody's coming to look for me. Who record
Street
is this?
DJs.
Everybody like it's Web.
Been
The
playing
Kid Web,
at
the Kid Web, the girl
Rucker
Bianca.
games, music videos, shot
Everything.
already after you got the deal.
No, the music video wasn't shot. I shot Tone Wild independently. I never shot Chicken Noodle Soup.
So once you got the deal, they covered that record because
Yes.
that video was sexier.
Yeah, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Okay,
let me walk you through it just so people can understand.
All right.
So, all right, here we are. It's time to do the deal. So when it's time to do the deal, I never wanted to say this story, man, because it's I don't talk about any problems.
So we're in the office right now. The paperwork is
so
here.
they came, and when Brian Leach told me the movement should be based around you, and you should spearhead it and sign everybody and put everybody in the, I didn't know.
So this gave birth to the compilation, Caught Up in the Web.
I'm Little John.
And we
everybody
all the
else
East Side boys.
It's the East Side,
I'm the East Side
and
boy.
different thing, and everybody was supposed to have their own thing. Cool.
Got you. Makes sense.
Cool. I'm DJ Khaled, and everybody else is just doing records. Like, I had the vision to do what Khaled is doing in 2006.
And
I just didn't have
Harlem.
the success that Khaled had.
Right. Okay.
So, and another thing she said before I get to the story, she said I took the album and I put Niggas from the Block on my album. No, I come from this mentality, and maybe this is wrong. Whoever get in first, you open the door for everybody else and let them get in. That's not always the right approach, though. So Bianca has a point when she said maybe the album should have been hers. Maybe it could have been. But I'm 21 and I'm trying to get everybody on. But if you look at the album, Tiana Teller from my block, she on the record. Cashflow's my dog, he's on the record. Myrtle Mook is on my album. Ron Browser's on the album.
Right.
Sean Donner, musical legends.
Did she feel like you should have catapulted and broke her as an artist? Like maybe she should have had 5 records on the album?
Well, she has 5 records on the album, but she felt like the album should have just been her. Now, if you look at the deal, I'm Donjai, right?
And you signed this deal. She didn't sign the deal.
So cool. They said they gave us $1.7 million. No. My deal was worth $1.7 million.
That was the budget. Like, we have 1.7 to make you pop.
They gave us $212,000 in advance, right?
Okay, that's in the pocket money.
So cool.
We good.
$212,000. Now, I want you to do the math.
That's like $500,000 back then.
I gave Young B $50,000 off the rip.
Beautiful.
Then it cost $30,000 to get her ratified by a judge because she's under 16. So a judge had to look at the contract and her to make sure it was a fair deal for her, to make sure her money's allocated right. So that was $80,000 out of $212,000, right?
Okay.
Follow me. Then I paid for her lawyer fees. Her lawyer name was Wallace Collins at the time.
Okay.
I had to pay her lawyer fees. So when people say you took her deal or whatever, it's like, are y'all using your brain? She had to have a lawyer. She had to have a judge. She got parents.
And I was about to ask you had some knowledge of the music industry more than her?
No, I didn't.
So you both were kind of like innocent?
What I did was, I'm not an idiot.
Right.
Even as a 21-year-old, I said, me and my partner Art was like, we don't know about the music industry. We went and found Kurt Burrows. Kurt Burrows, I don't know if you've seen the Diddy documentary. He built Bad Boy for Puff.
Yes,
so he was managing the whole thing. So we knew a little bit about the business. The plan was
equally, you're learning together.
The plan was do the compilation album so you can help break everybody.
Okay.
She's non-exclusive, but guess what? The only thing I got over her is me being on the album cover. She made more money than me on the deal by far. Let me break it down to you again.
Okay.
Something called publishing. That's where all the money comes from.
Right.
Her uncle, who made the beat, who didn't want to give her the beat, he gets 50% of the record. Because the record is broken down, 50% is for the beat, the production, and 50% is for the writers.
To your knowledge, her uncle are cool to this day? They never had any beef over that?
They together.
Okay,
that's her uncle.
All right.
He gets 50% of the record.
All right, cool.
So now, Voice of Harlem is screaming on the record, talking his talk.
Right.
I'm on the record, doing my ad-libs, and I'm also helping with lyrics and different things and arranging. And Bianca wrote the whole concept of the record. So we all agreed that we was going to split the publishing up to 50%, 16 and a third. Everybody gets 16 and a third.
16.3.
Yes, everybody gets 16 and a third. That's how you break 50. That's how writing splits go. If it was 4 people, it would have been 12.5.
Okay.
And so forth and so forth, right?
Right.
So Bianca comes. This is so crazy. I'm gonna say this story. Bianca, this is one of the reasons why I'm happy I took the deal. Bianca goes, nah, fuck that. AG's a crackhead. We not giving him nothing. We gonna give him some money. I'm taking 30%, you take 20%.
And all right, she's street savvy, 16-year-old, but trying to get.
She was 16, but
Did somebody tell her that?
Listen.
Like, somebody put that in her ear, maybe?
A 3 or 4-year-old know right from wrong, brother. I'm not making no excuse. 16, 17, 18. You know when it comes to money with what you want. My daughter is 12 years old. She know how to get money from me right now.
Right.
So her at 16 back then, she like, I'm taking 30%, you take 20. So what did I do? I'm gonna tell you what I did. I took my 20% and I split it with AG. So if you look at the publisher split, her and her uncle got 80% of the record, right?
So these are checks coming to y'all where you're able to divvy it up amongst each other.
No, it goes automatically to you. Like, so if it's $1 million,
okay,
they got 80% of $1 million.
All right,
and me and Voice of Harlem split 20%.
Okay, gotcha.
But my 20% is deeper than that because so now I got to give Voice of Harlem 10% of the record. I only get 10%.
Because now you get 10 because you split that 20.
And then I got a partner named Art. So I take half of my 10 and I put it into the label.
So now you're down to 5.
I'm down to 5% of the record.
And 5 G's came from this, from you having 5%.
Yeah.
No.
So let's get to 5. So now I start seeing that and I'm like, damn, like, I'm glad I did do the deal for myself because who knows what she would have cut me out of if she would have did the deal for herself. You already cut me out the publishing, right?
So when Brian, all right, so listen, I have this deal on the table. He came directly to you.
Yes.
So that's how you did the deal for yourself because he came directly to you.
I didn't do my deal with Brian. I wish I would have, but I.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were Universal.
Universal.
Yes. So when Universal came,
they came.
Second album was Koch. First album Universal.
Yes.
So when Universal came to you, this is Caught Up in the Web.
Yes.
They came to you.
Yes.
For the record, they didn't sit down with Bianca or did you bring them to the meetings? But they came directly to you.
She's 16.
So this is your business. They came to you.
Yes.
Hey, Webb, we're looking for you. The labels were looking for you. Were they looking for her at the time separately as well?
Yes.
Okay.
They probably was.
Okay.
But like, New York is New York. You know what's going on. Yo, who record is this? Oh, it's the kid Webstar record. He's been doing these records. He got an artist named Bianca. They knew what time it was.
So they came to you at this point.
Yes.
And you did the deal.
Yes.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right.
So now, back to the Bianca thing. Excuse me for 1 second. So now the publishing thing happened. So my eyebrows is raised. I'm like, damn, I gotta split my half with AG and she calling him a crackhead. I don't know. I never seen AG smoke crack. I'm not gonna call him a crackhead, but
me either. And I see him a lot of times on the East Side. Shout out to the legend.
Shout out to him. I don't know what he does, but regardless if he smoked crack or not, guess what? He still got a family. Okay. So I'm like, let me give him half of mine. Cool. That happens. Now we doing.
That's honorable. I like the moral compass with that. Like this is still.
So now we doing shows. Yeah, of course. Everything's with love. Right. Now we doing shows, Donjai. We made a couple of $1 million the first year of shows.
Nice.
Me and Bianca split.
Like the
we
real
doing
money.
the shows together.
Next to publishing and performing live is the real money.
Here's the second thing. His second eyebrow raiser.
Okay.
We doing shows. We splitting the show money down the middle.
50-50.
Yes.
Okay. That's appropriate, right? I would say.
We on. You tell me. I'm gonna tell you the story, and you tell me.
I would say. But if I was an artist at that age, maybe I would think, damn, I deserve more because I'm actually. So maybe that.
Let me break it down to you before you say that. Let me give you the story before you chime in.
Okay.
Cool. So we on tour with Bow Wow, Price of Fame tour.
Okay.
They paying us probably like 10 grand a show. We opening up. We got to be on stage for 20 minutes. We got one record.
Okay.
All right. So are you following me?
Yeah.
We got to be on stage for 20 minutes. We got one record, Donjai.
So you spinning?
So no, I'm not even spinning. I'm Dougie Freshin' my ass off for 15 minutes.
Okay. So
say ho, say hey.
As
Left side,
a DJ,
right side,
master of ceremony,
walk it out, lean with it. I'm doing
disc jockey.
I'm doing the most crowd participation you could ever do it.
As you should.
I'm just rocking the crowd for 15 minutes.
Right.
The last 5 minutes, Chicken Noodle Soup comes on, Bianca comes out, we do the record.
Right.
Love you, good night, sweet dreams, we all leave. I take my $5,000, she take her $5,000 to show, whatever we was getting.
Okay.
I pay my manager. I hired my partner Art as management, even though he was my partner, just so I could give him some show money because me and Bianca was getting show money. Bianca brought her moms. So we got to pay a DJ, and we pay management.
Right.
So so her mom one day say, why we giving Web half the money for the shows? That nigga don't do nothing but say his name on the record. So I decided not to go to the next show.
Okay, so how many shows were you in before you decided to not go?
We did maybe, I don't know, 50 shows.
And then you was like, all right.
No. I decided not to go to the next show. And then Bianca called me after that show and said,
got you, makes sense.
I need you to come back. I can't, I ain't gonna get into it, but.
Right, okay, understood.
She understood my worth then when it came to the shows.
Got you. Oh, I understand why I need a DJ. But in reality, when you perform as an artist, you need a DJ anyway.
Well, we had a DJ, Donjai.
Okay.
So we hired a DJ. So I used to take my brothers on the road who helped me start it.
Right.
Danny D came on some shows.
Nice.
Get On Up, Ronnie Ron. All my friends, I tried to get money with all my friends.
Right.
So we had a DJ.
Okay.
I'm not just a DJ. I'm an artist too, and that's the part that got lost. I see one of her interviews. She was just like, I don't do this. Well, I'm like, if you're 16 years old, then how do you break a record in 2006 with no social media? You tell me.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
You gotta have a street presence because at the time, Instagram and TikTok and going viral wasn't it. You gotta have a street presence. And then from my experience working in the industry or interning and being at labels and working under a lot of artists, you gotta go for ads. So that's your radio.
You gotta have money.
And then, of course.
We didn't have no money. So guess what? It was all grit. All the work I was putting in, giving out
relationships and people knowing you.
All the work I was going to give out flyers at the schools,
from the parties,
building a fan base up in Harlem, allowed me to have the core to break some shit.
Got you, because they trust you now. This is Web.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
You got to know how to sell it. So now you got those two things. So now Bianca decided to go get a manager named Hunk, and they started doing music together. And I ain't gonna lie, it was friction. And I'm not gonna lie, Donjai, I was cocky as a motherfucker back then. You gotta remember, I come from nothing. I never had more than $2,000-$3,000 in my life before I got that money. So I was cocky. I'm like, I could take a little girl who never did music before,
right,
and a nigga from a basketball tournament that's on the mic that never did music before, and I can make a hit record. So you know what I did?
And that was you did another one.
I said, I'm gonna go find 5 dancers that never did music before, and I'm gonna put them in the studio. Besides Brittany, the swag kids really never did music before. I go find them, I say, we gonna make a record.
Okay.
We came up with the 5,000, right?
Okay.
The 5,000 is one of New York's biggest underground records of all time. The record went stupid. I would have had a deal for them, but we come from a dysfunctional place in Harlem, bro.
Right, understood.
Shout to all the swag kids.
All of the swag kids are from
shout to Milton, Bree Beauty, KP, Kev Light, Peaches, Crybaby. I love all of them. I still speak to mostly all of them. But we was dysfunctional in Harlem.
Okay.
So 2 of them caught gun charges and everything just went out the window. I couldn't, nobody wanted to do a deal with them. It was just whatever, but we had a great moment in time.
Yes.
So now I'm like, fuck it, I can't rely on no artists because me and Young B, it didn't work. Then the swag kids we had.
They rubbed you wrong.
No, the swag kids ain't rub me wrong.
I mean,
Young B rubbed me wrong.
Because we go through things, even
So you understand all the work you put in, and you finally think you
shied away from certain things because it rubbed you wrong.
Donjai, imagine working hard. Right. You don't know what you're working hard for, but you know you're working hard, and then you finally get a break, and then somebody else causes it not to work. So now what do I do? I say, you know what, I'm gonna work with Ron Browse. We're gonna do an album together. Me and Ron Browse working on an album together. In the midst of me and Ron Browse working on an album together, he makes Pop Champagne.
Yes.
Pop Champagne blows the fuck up. I'm not on that record, right? What do? Do I get jealous? No. I run around with Ron Browse to every label and every DJ, and I'm helping him work his record because that's my nigga.
Right.
If he get on, I know I'm back on. He gets the fuck on. Every label turned on us, Donjai. Every label. We sat down with everybody before the shit popped. Then when he pop off, you know what I do? I go make a record that sounds similar to his record, to the same labels that passed on me once. You ain't gonna pass on me twice. You already missed this one. Then I go do a deal for Dancing on Me.
Dancing on Me. I was just about to allude to that. So Dancing on Me.
Now I don't have to worry about artists.
And
I'm
this
the
is
artist.
Koch at the time.
Koch, I go.
Shout out to D Sound.
Shout out to Jim Jones. Jim Jones called me and was like, yo, Koch owe me some money. They owe me $150. We could do the deal with me. It could be both our record, and you could go do another deal somewhere else. So I did the deal with Jim Jones at Koch.
Right.
I turned around, once we do that deal, I turned around the next week and go to Universal again and do a deal with Steve Rifkin.
So you double back. Okay.
I did 2 deals.
All right.
I did the record called Tipsy with me and Jada Kiss and Serrani. That was my single over on. So I didn't have 3 different deals.
Okay.
I wasn't even a rapper, Donjai. I was a hustler that learned the business as I went, and I got really good at it.
But DJing, master of your craft for sure. It wasn't like.
I'm always gonna DJ. I'm a DJ till I'm 100 years old.
Right, but you became an artist through these forms of putting together these
It
records.
was like, okay, I tried it with Bianca and my label. It didn't work for me. Cool.
Right.
When God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. You figure it out. Okay, that didn't work. All right, let me try the Swag Kids. Okay, that didn't work. No bad blood, it just didn't work. All right, let me try with Ron Browns. Oh shit, he got on by himself. Let me try to get myself on.
Right.
So every time God gives me something, I don't look at the negative thing. I look at the positive. I want to do all positive. I want to do all positive. So even with me and Bianca, I'm 21 years old, Donjai. She's 16. I don't know nothing about music. Did I make some of the wrong decisions? Absolutely, I did.
You don't know nothing about the music business.
I don't know about how do I know?
Yeah, we're learning together.
I'm from Spiller Hill, bro. I don't know nothing.
All right.
I know how to count money. I know how to do parties, and I know how to sell a little bit of drugs, and that's all I know. I don't know nothing else.
Makes
I don't
sense.
have no failures in the industry. I ain't have nobody teaching me nothing.
Oh.
So all this happened fast. So I probably, could I have made the album hers? I probably could have made the album hers, but who's to say if the album is hers, anybody else gets off from my crew?
So question.
Yes.
Right? To her defense.
Yes.
At this time, did she have multiple deals going as well?
No.
And
She did.
Voice of Harlem have multiple deals going as well?
No.
All right, so you would kind of be the factor that kept,
I think about this.
was growing life through that opportunity.
The Voice of Harlem was inside to me.
Right,
the
but
Voice
we
of
knew
Harlem
him
made a record called Harlem March. That was a huge record. He had Diddy on it, he had Nori on it, no music.
Right.
Why he didn't get a record deal has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
I wasn't his manager, he wasn't signing me. I don't know. We was just cool.
Okay.
Bianca, we did that record 20 years ago. She hasn't been signed to me yet. I don't know how long.
Because this is the 20th anniversary of the Chicken Noodle Soup record.
Yes.
So I see a lot of this tension on the internet, or people have been speaking because this is the 20th anniversary of the Chicken Noodle Soup record. So respectfully, this is kind of like her baby, and it's your baby as well, and Harlem's baby, and the Voice of Harlem's baby.
Yeah.
This is all your baby, so everybody wants, I would get why somebody would feel, honestly, guarded or protected over.
I've done so much music. I've done so much music, Donjai.
But that being your biggest, and the album won gold, correct?
Yes.
You guys sold about.
Dancing on Me won gold as well.
Okay.
I'm on the Jerk remix. That went gold as well. Like I'm on different records. Like when you go to a party uptown,
right?
Like I said earlier, I'm like to Harlem what Too Short is to the Bay.
Right.
If you come to Harlem or you come to the Bronx or you uptown or you New York, you try going to a party without hearing a Webstar set. This is where they play 4, 5, 6 year records in a row. They call it a Webstar set. But the thing that made me mad, she literally said, I don't do nothing. And I'm like Harlem Reloaded, shout to Nick Bucks and G.I. What about Boogie Black? You love Boogie Black. You know what he means to Harlem. Who you think started Boogie Black? Who you think put Voice of Harlem on his first record? The first time you heard Tiana Taylor, it was on my album. Like Ron Browns, T-Rex, Murder Move. I didn't start none of them. I'm not responsible for none of their success. But I played the party with everybody. I'm gonna tell you one thing I want to say.
Okay.
Look at Tiana Taylor, right?
Right.
She was in some bad deals. you see her in the media complaining about the Kanye deal and all that, but guess what?
She reinvents herself.
There you go.
Whether it's acting,
there you go.
whether it's apparent, whether
How proud are we of Tiana?
fashion with
Oscars,
the Jordan
Emmys,
brand,
everything.
She reinvents
Are we
herself.
not proud
As
of her?
we all should reinvent
Are
ourselves.
we not proud of her?
We are proud of her.
She came in when I came in. We came in together.
And I guess what the point you're trying to make is you don't see her
No.
throwing shade on Pharrell because of the Google Me or Kanye because that didn't work out. She just keeps on going.
God gave her lemon, she's making lemonade.
Okay.
It ain't always going. Listen, lemonade don't taste good until you add sugar. Sometimes it can be bitter. You got to figure it out.
All right.
We talking about 20 years. Do you know how long 20 years is, Donjai?
Yeah, I'm about to be 40, so I know how long
20 years is a long time. Why are we still arguing about something from 20 years ago that we done made up about? Bro, here's what threw me off.
But did all of this start because of Breed Beauty?
Yes.
Did this start because of Breed Beauty? Things on the internet fly fast.
Here's what
I
happened.
seen Breed Beauty post a video. I see Bianca post a video.
Here's what
I seen
happened.
you in the hospital like, listen, I'm going to respond.
All right, here's
you
what
called
happened.
me
Here's
tonight.
what happened.
We're
I'm
here.
going to tell you what happened. Here's what happened. When I made...
That was your album cover, kind of.
Yeah, there you go. When I'm after Chicken Noodle Soup, I said I found another group. Breed Beauty was like the main member of the group.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you, by design, I wanted to have another little girl, pause, that sounded crazy, but who was cute,
right,
and who had a good voice and who I could market. That's what people knew me for.
And they have similar voices. So I'll get it.
They're very similar. They both names start with a B. Everything was by design. And I'm not gonna lie. When you working with one artist and she go get another manager or another person she working with, I got an ego problem too. I'm like, oh, she trying to make hit records over there? Well, I'm gonna make hit records over here with you. Listen, and then I did tell her, like, listen, Bianca don't do this, do that. I did say that. I'm human. I ain't perfect. I ain't say I was perfect, but I was wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but this is you being your honest self.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying it's right, it's not wrong. You said it.
Yeah.
But you felt that maybe she doesn't dance like you, perhaps.
No.
Maybe it's
listen. If you got an artist, right?
Right.
If I got a female artist tomorrow, I'll be like, yo, listen, who's the hottest female artist? Cardi B. I'm gonna gas her up. Like, listen, you rap better than Cardi, you sing better than her.
Got you.
Whether it's right or wrong, it's like a coach.
All right, got you. Yeah, so that's
you putting the right energy into your artist.
That was all right. Yeah, respect as you should.
So we did a record called 5,000, which is one of New York's biggest underground records of all time.
1,000%.
And a lot of people thought it was Bianca on the record because they knew me from working with her for Chicken Noodle Soup.
And I thought that as well back in the before seeing the video.
There you go.
The colors.
So here we are 20 years later. The record is legendary.
Right.
You see Casa Knot, you see Beyonce, everybody dances to the record, right? And Bianca got, so here's the story about Bianca. Here's what happened with that. When Bianca did the show at the Barclays at the Bow Wow concert,
right,
she came out to the 5,000 record.
Now, to your knowledge, and this is what I'm thinking as I'm watching this, was that's not her being spiteful or sending a shot at you, and to your knowledge, or how would you feel? Because I know there's artists that come out to other people's records all the time.
I'm gonna give you an example, and then, so this is how I break it down. I just did a show with Maya in the Bahamas.
Right.
She performed Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? It was a cover.
That's a nice flex.
She did Robin Thicke, Lost Without You, Shot the Maya. Those are her peers. She's cool with them, cool. But I'm not gonna see Ja Rule doing a 50 Cent record at his concert.
Okay.
Bianca and Britney don't like each other.
So they've been beefing. So when she performs this record, do you think they told them to play it out of spite? From your knowledge of having a relationship with Bianca for the past 20 years, and you've been up and down, right?
Look, morally right and business things normally are the opposite.
Yes.
What's morally right for business not going to be morally right, just morally.
Okay.
So for instance, if it was a record that people thought I was on and it makes my show better, it might be good for business. I might do it.
Okay. Or do you think she was paying homage or trying to squash the beef, and maybe Britney took it the wrong way?
So this is King Louis right here, Donjai.
Right.
Shout to the Victoria, shout to Mike. I don't know if you know how much this costs a shot, but you must have had too much of it because you sitting up here and you asking me, do I think she was trying to pay homage?
So that
let me ask you a question.
This is out of spite.
Let me ask you a question. If you
I can't see myself performing to anybody's record if I got beef
if you
with
were at
people.
a concert, right? Backstage.
Right. I'm chilling backstage.
And I'm on stage performing your record.
Okay.
How you gonna feel?
Like that's funny stuff.
Don't drink no more. I don't like what you just asked me.
That's the moral of the story, kids.
I don't like what you just asked me. Because
because to me, I'm trying to, like how Rocket was like, you got to look at different people's perspective. I'm trying to see if somebody's trying to reach out with an olive branch.
You like me. You believe in the greater good of the universe. Everybody's trying to do the right thing.
Got you.
No, nigga, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I've been quiet for a long time.
So that's not reaching out the olive branch. So hopefully we all get together and make this 20-year anniversary money.
No,
that's not that.
It wasn't that. You know why?
All right,
I'm gonna tell you why it's not that. Because she saw her before the concert and she was there. So if you knew she was there, why you ain't just break her out with you if you was trying to squash beef?
Now you added context to what I don't know.
Now, in her defense, in Bianca's defense, and I really don't want to defend her right now because she kept calling me a dumbass nigga on some interview. That shit was funny as shit.
I didn't see that.
But listen, in her defense, right? We started this Light Feet thing together, right?
Okay, yes.
So we kind of feel like a lot of the records that came from the movement is because of us. So sometimes when I do a show, I might come out to Harlem March.
Okay.
I ain't gonna perform like I'm Voice of Harlem.
Voice of Harlem, but that's his record, right. Makes sense. Okay, not out of spite.
No, not out of spite.
That's the point I was making, right?
But you gotta look at, before you do something, you gotta think about other people. You can't just do stuff.
Yes,
so how do Britney feel? She backstage. What if Bow Wow wanted to bring her out to perform? Now she can't even do that because she didn't perform the record.
Makes sense, and I didn't think about it like that aspect.
No.
All right. So
and then what threw me off about Bianca making these comments too, she was just in the studio with me a few days before she did that interview. We just did more music, so I'm like,
okay, so you just did.
Well, listen, if somebody do you so wrong, Donjai, and somebody took your career from you or whatever you feel like I did.
Right.
Then why we still doing music? Why we still we family, bro? Like why are we still doing that? That don't make sense to me.
Right. Okay.
Do it make sense to you?
And even to go to the
if somebody steal your camera today, right? Are you gonna leave your camera with them again?
No. I done been in a situation. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm not. There's people that I don't rock with. I don't hate them.
Yeah.
But I have a very clear idea of like what you did was against my ethics or what have you.
I love Bianca.
And I'm not rocking with you. And there's no beef.
Listen.
But we just not in the same space.
I love Bianca. I love her. That's
beautiful.
I love her. She's a beautiful person. She's talented. My daughter loves her. My grandmother loves her. I'm cool with her sisters. So I don't have no bad things to say about her. I'm just letting people know on why I move, how I move. How do you expect me to move when you show me who you are?
This is just out of the side of the story.
This is just me.
Right,
it's just like
Web is speaking. You let everything.
I'm not perfect. I could have probably did some things differently, but
okay.
She made more money than me on the deal. Everything I did, she did. 106 in Park. She was next to me. Listen to me, Donjai. 1 second. 106 in Park, she next to me.
Right.
You know what else?
I remember them.
Have you seen the Chicken Noodle video?
Yeah.
She's in the whole video. I'm in little parts of it.
Skirt.
She got everything from it.
Right.
Whether she was signed or not, she still had a deal.
The visibility.
She just didn't have the deal. Yes, everything she got, bro. So I just don't understand where after we just left the studio with each other the other day for these interviews to come out, right immediately. I'm like, we was just in the studios together.
You being, and I'm not gonna say, the bigger man. You are a man. And the man in this situation. Do you think there's a way where you can get, at least for the greater good, and this is just us because this is how we move, do you think there's a way you can get Bianca, aka Young B, and Britney in the same room and y'all work something out or squash this?
Honestly,
because for the better, we don't want us as young black Harlem folks beefing with each other.
You are a fantastic guy.
It's funny you called me because I spend a lot of my days, and I learned this from the legend of General D from Rough Riders, because he taught me this, like, we like to de-escalate things. I spend a lot of time trying to de-escalate other people's problems myself. Oh, yo, you know this person, call them. Yo, give me a second.
Shout to my big brother D. You asked D how many artists he just said, you know what, I gave you a shot, a chance. I can't deal with you no more. Donjai, I'm 40.
It's multiple.
I'm 40. I'm 41 years old.
Right.
I have daughters. I have 2 daughters. My job is to make sure they good and make sure they not doing the wrong thing. If I got to continuously defend my character over and over with somebody, I want.
So you obviously feel like, yo, this is effed up. We were just in the studio, and you guys being in the studio recently was almost like some olive branch. Y'all haven't kicked it in a long time. I just seen her like forget like that. I haven't seen her. Or you never.
Me and Bianca always been close.
Okay, all right.
This is what I'm saying.
So,
like even I cursed Bianca out before to my family and my friends that's family with us, but I'm not going on blog saying you called AJ a crackhead and ain't want to give him no money, or you ain't want to give me half the show money, or you did this to me, or you did that to me.
Well, we saying it now. You heard it here first. Nah.
I'm not trying to disrespect AJ.
Yeah,
I'm not calling AJ.
Of course, I said legend.
Yeah.
But you're not saying these things when you guys could really sit down and know each other and be in contact and have phone numbers.
Why?
We in the studio
My
together.
daughter
We
loves
can have
Bianca,
a conversation.
Like my daughter
together.
literally loves Bianca. Like loves her. Like, and that's like my little sister for 20 years, bro. Like, what I look like even doing this. This don't even sit right with me. I'm not built like this.
You know, like I was saying, sometimes even as men, you know, because we
You want some more of this King Louis?
I'm not gonna drink it, but you could definitely pour some in it for sure.
If you ain't gonna drink it, I'm not pouring it.
Nah, I got you. Go ahead.
Want to take a little sip?
Yeah, we're gonna take a little sip. And now back to our sponsors. But what I'm saying is, you know, sometimes we're in situations where we have to defend ourselves, even if it looks like, yo, he's the man, he's stronger, he's bigger. And I'm not talking about physically fighting, defending ourselves, but it's like sometimes they say take the higher road, or in the words of Tupac, oh no, I won't turn the other cheek. Like, pause. But you know, you're not turning the other. You're not taking the higher road.
I've been doing it for 20 years. It's like we talking about something I hardly make money off of.
Do you think you're owed an apology with that? Like.
Yeah,
that's all right.
I do. I do think that like you calling somebody who believed in you first, who took you out your mama house to the studio when she didn't want you to go, who made a hit record with a beat,
seen the vision,
who made a hit record with a beat your uncle didn't want to give you, and who believed in you and had your back, got in fights over, defended you. I did everything for you.
And in these interviews, did she even give you homage or saying any of that?
No, she said, I don't make beats, I don't rap, I don't do nothing. Okay. I started a lot more motherfuckers for somebody who ain't do nothing. I got multiple records. I'm not Michael Jackson, I ain't make Thriller, but goddamn, I got a catalog of records I can play where I go anywhere in the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Bianca, I'm not throwing shade at her right now, but can you name me 3 Young B records or Bianca records? Can you name 3? You from Harlem, name 3.
Don't get me to start no trouble.
Okay,
abuse, but
okay.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
Okay. Can you name 3 Webstar records?
Boom, 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 boom.
Nah, you ain't got it. You ain't got it. You ain't. Come on, bro.
Of course, we got Dancing on Me. You got records.
Come on.
We hear your name. That's
I'm not Michael Jackson. I ain't Chris Brown. I ain't nothing. But in Harlem, I'm somebody in Harlem, and I'm proud of that. And I'm not cocky, but I'm proud to be from here, and I'm proud to have a catalog, and I'm proud to have done music with a lot of different people and help a lot of people start their career. I don't care if I don't get the credit for what I do, but you're not going to discredit me either.
Okay.
Enough is enough after a while. It's like, you know you're my little sister. You know if you hit me, I'm not going to hit you back. You know you're going to kick me and run, I'm not going to chase you. But like, when do I say, all right, enough is a fucking enough?
All right.
Come on,
Understood.
It's Easter Sunday. You got a pink jacket on. It's beautiful. It's supposed to be a beautiful day. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We ran out to Victoria. We got the Apollo bonners. We got an alpaca. What's that shit?
Alpaca?
Alpaca. That's alpaca playing in the background.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, listen. I want to shout out one more time before we get out of here, because I know it's late, and I got you out the house doing this.
No.
Victoria, Mike Garlic, thank you guys.
Thank you.
ASAP Rocky, Donka, thank y'all. We got some things coming in the works. I'm dropping some new music too. Shout to Brittany Taylor, because I feel bad because she had to see somebody like actually performing her record while she's in the building. And I felt like
I empathize.
I felt like in a perfect world, we could have. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wish we all could come together and just fix it.
Me as a photographer, somebody, I've seen people post my work
tired, but
and take the credit.
I still love Bianca. I love Brittany. I wish they could come together and work together. Now that I think about it, I do.
That's beautiful.
That's the right thing to say. But when you get frustrated and see somebody who you helped a lot and who you love a lot talk about you on the internet, it kind of be like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm not dealing with it. But I'm just saying that out of anger, out of emotion. Honestly, I would love for Bianca and Brittany to squash their beef.
Right.
And
I would love to see that too.
I would love for all of us to come together and kind of figure out, because honestly, like, if we all started the same movement,
right,
we should be able to do each other records when we're on the road and have fun and help each other out and do different things and bring each other and do like the South do.
And that's exactly.
You ever heard of the Donjai family?
Oh yeah, for
with
sure.
CeeLo Green,
Gip,
and
yeah,
and Outkast.
I'm
pretty sure if CeeLo Green was singing Sleepy's record like "I Love the Way You Move," he'll be all right with it on the road because they all together.
Right.
Why
Even
we
if
can't
he's
do that
not
in
there.
Harlem?
Okay, and that is the bigger picture that we probably want to kind of get to. And we
Dame and Cam is beefing.
We would love to see.
Like me and Bianca's beefing.
And the child, and you know,
what?
Just being, you know, being a native, being a resident, I'm a fan of all y'all in the sense because I don't know the chicken noodle soup, but I'm not gonna have the main mug when I hear it. So I'm a fan, like number one of you. The Voice of Harlem, Young B, Brittany,
Shout
even
to the
when
Voice
she
of
did.
Harlem. Shout to the Voice of Harlem, because you know, without him, this whole thing ain't possible either. I'm not gonna take nothing from him. He played the big role because he had Kingdom, and his voice was so unique. I had to put him on a record. But I saw that vision. When he put this little girl with a squeaky voice, saying this catchy lyrics on this voice with this grown ass man. Look at the dynamics of that.
Yeah, it is. Like
a 16-year-old girl, a 50-year-old man. None of them did music before. Let's put these niggas in a pot, mix it up, and we make one of the biggest records ever.
Sonically, it is different voices and different pitches from.
I'm not gonna toot my old horn. It was almost genius. Are you gonna think I'm gonna go to the studio with somebody who never did music before and a little girl who never did music before, this far apart in age? What's the demographic for the record?
Right.
But it worked. Did it work?
It definitely worked, and it's working.
You was at the African market back in the days. You see Kingdom.
It's working 20 years from now.
Yeah, it is. But it's 20 years ago. I'm not thinking about that.
It still
I'm
works.
trying to make more music and more content and do more positive stuff. Everything that's aligning with my brand.
That's what I'm talking
is all
about.
positivity. You at my toy drives. You see me give thousands and thousands of kids every year.
1000%.
You did the videography work for me.
That's true.
Come on, bro. I wanted you to do this interview because you were an honest person. I could have sat down with a big blog and talked about this. Wow.
Right.
I'm calling my Harlem nigga Donjai, and I want to be honest, and I want to be vulnerable, pause, and I want to have a conversation honestly with you.
Yeah.
Hit Mike up, he let me do this, and, and here we are, the rest is history.
And I'm not being a devil's advocate, but I'm also trying to understand everybody's perspective. Although they're not here, and from what I've seen on the internet, not trying to make a bigger beef out of what's happening, but it's like you have been the missing piece to the puzzle because nobody heard your side of the story.
Yeah, because I don't believe in talking about family, but like when my character get assassinated, I have to say something.
Right.
I spoke to a lot of people. A$AP Rocky is really the one who really was where he was like, you gotta look at things from her perspective too, how she was seeing things. And I'm just like, okay, cool, I do. But then the interview came out right after that, and I'm like,
okay.
She was just in the studio with me.
I feel your pain.
We just was working again. Like, why was you in the studio with me? And then not only was you in the studio with me, you calling me, and you like, when the record coming out? Like, you excited. Then you go do the Bow Wow show without me, which is fine, because I've done shows without her too.
Right.
But
as it happens sometimes.
It happens.
But I know people beef about stuff like that, but everybody can't get on the road.
With her, it's like this. She might be in Miami. I know she can't come. If it's not a budget for her, I don't bring her. I just go do it. This was a free show.
It happens.
I was in a car with her, right? This is so crazy. I was just with her. She had a hosted at Harlem Shake. Shout out to Harlem Shake. She had a hosted. Yes. I went over to meet her. She FaceTimed Young Jock in the car while I'm there. Young Jock says, I got 10 minutes on stage, Bianca. I'm gonna give you one. I'm like, oh, we gonna come out for 1 minute, do chicken noodle soup. They all go crazy. That's fun. She never called me for the show. She go and do the show.
Okay.
The funny thing about the whole Britney situation is, if she brings me out with her on stage, she don't get no backlash from performing 5,000 because it's my record.
Makes sense.
But Brittany is not. But I'm not there. So Brittany is like, Web, you're not even there on the record.
I never thought
and
about
she's
that
doing
perspective.
it.
And yeah, all right. Wow. All right.
All she had to do was do the right thing.
Right.
When are you gonna do the right thing by me? I understand I made some mistakes, but I did the right thing by you. You don't live in Harlem no more. You was on Love and Hip Hop. You was on Baddies. You was doing all these things come from when we started. You in a position where you never had to have a real job in your life. So why you acting like it was all bad?
Right.
It wasn't all bad, it was mostly good.
So she did reinvent herself, and it's from that opportunity that or that
not on the level of Tiana, but she's doing it. Everybody ain't gonna be Jay-Z or Lil Wayne or 50 Cent. Some people is meant to be Bianca or Webstar. Like we all gotta deal with what God give us.
Respectfully.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna be Steven Spielberg. They might be Donjai. You are successful, more successful than a lot of people. You gotta appreciate everything God provides for you, bro. Like, I wish we could just not beef about stupid stuff and we could just figure out ways to make money together now and to be a family now. She lost people, I lost people. People don't wake up. Look at Lee TV, my brother. Look at Rome, they passed away. These guys are in their 40s and they not here. We might not wake up in the morning. Why are we beefing with each other?
And on that
stupid,
note,
man.
All right. Well, salute.
Salute.
Love.
Sip it slow. Pause.
This he's like, let it marinate. Everything I said, let it marinate. Don't ever ask me no dumb questions. Don't sip it too fast. Sip it slow. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yo, thank you for taking the time.
No. Listen.
We said 30 minutes. That was about 2 hours.
Less than that. We good though. Love, yo.
Donjai did it. Don't you forget it.